Okay, Honda Fit project. We're working on that today. Got a long way to go. I'm going to be replacing the dash, the steering wheel, the computer in the car, the ECU. So along with that, I'm going to have to switch the keys, the ignition. A whole lot of stuff is going to have to go along with it. But that's for the future. Right now, I really want to get this guy on the ground as soon as possible. I got to get some shocks on this. I have some already. I don't know where I put them, so I need to find them. But I'll find that. Everything underneath it I am keeping as is. So the exhaust, everything is staying as it is right now. What I'm gonna do is take this whole thing out. I'm planning on rebuilding this little engine and refreshing it completely just to like practice my skills. So all the seals, everything is getting replaced so that there's no oil leaks, there's no leaks of any kind, so that it's brand new, replacing like the timing chain. Well, I don't know. I believe this has a timing belt. I'm not 100% sure about that. It might have a timing chain. If it has a timing chain, I'll just leave it. If it has a timing belt, I'll switch it out. But other than that, replace all the fluids, all the belts, everything in here that I can replace, I will replace. On this specific engine, this dog will not hush up. Anyway, that's the plan. All of this stuff is going to come out. I'm going to replace this entire radiator support because there's some significant damage on it. So that's all getting replaced. God, I hate yappy dogs. Anyway, you can see right here, there's like some pretty gnarly damage. So I'm gonna be learning how to weld so I can replace all of this and have it like it was when it was brand new. So right along this line, I'm going to drill this all out, cut it, replace it, and see if we can get that to look like new again. Along with this is also gonna get grinded out. So this whole panel here at this seam, I'm gonna drill out and I'm gonna weld in the good piece from the parts car. And then this whole, so this frame is fine. You can see it's all straight. There's nothing wrong with it. Just need to bolt in a new bumper there. But that's it. It's not, it's kind of a lot, but it's not, impossible, I think. So, okay, here's the parts car. As you can see, I took out the doors. Those are now on that car. This engine is perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with it at all. I mean, there's nothing really wrong with the other one either, other than the fact that I took it apart and it's been sitting for a few months. This engine is fine as well. Nothing really wrong with it. It's running, it's driving, there's no weird noises. It works fine. No issues. So this is gonna come out along with all the radiator support, everything. So I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to take all this out. And then that's going to go on that guy. As you can see, this has the rear smashed in. So just putting two together, making one good one. On this thing, I do want to take the exhaust out of this. Looks like a custom job. I want to put it on that guy. The catalytic converter that is on there right now would not pass smog here in California. I did get it to pass because I put the exhaust from that one basically temporarily on this one, and got it to Bass Smog, got it registered, and then I swapped it back in. But it's been giving me problems, so I need to swap it out. Hopefully, I'm hoping that this exhaust is okay, and I'm gonna check that right now. I don't think there's any leaks from this exhaust, but the weld job doesn't look like the best. So I see that there's some numbers on here, and that's a good sign, because that could mean that this does match the engine number or engine, because in California it has to match the right engine family, like these numbers right here. And if it matches the right engine family, then you're good to go. So that's what I'm hoping. I'm gonna take this out of here and slap it into the daily over there. And I'm gonna take out this little fart cannon. I'm gonna take that out completely. That's gonna get thrown away. Like, it sounds awful. I'm gonna put the I'm gonna keep the regular muffler that's on here. It's the OEM muffler, so hopefully that fixes the loudness and grossness that this car was putting out. I don't know if I have video of this car running. If I do, I'll include it so you can hear some of that nastiness. Okay, it's on. These wheels I'm gonna keep. They're gonna go on that car. And then those wheels are gonna stay on this car. Regular stock suspension is gonna go back on that car. And once I do that, I'm gonna get ready to get rid of all the error codes that are on this car. So right now I have a check engine light because of the exhaust. The O2 sensor got ripped out of it, so I need to replace that. That's number one. Another thing is that it's got airbag light on, so I need to figure out what's going on with that. I believe it has something to do with the wiring underneath the seats, so I'm looking into it and seeing if I can get that fixed. And once I get all the little lights taken care of, then I will work on getting this all back to stock and selling it. Then I'm gonna take all the side skirts and stuff, all the little lips. I'm gonna take all that off. I'm gonna keep that to put on the project, because the project is gonna be the new daily. I have this lifted up a little bit right now because I'm gonna start working on swapping out the rear suspension. And I don't have a camera that I can mount on myself that'll follow me and see what I'm seeing, but I'll do my best to get like all the angles with this little tripod. So hopefully this gets what I need to get. Really? Did we have to go through that much? I don't know if I should be able to push it down that easily, but don't see any leaks. They look good enough to use. Here we go. So I had some lunch. I'm back now. These are the quote-unquote old shocks. They look better, but I'm just switching them out so that everything matches. As you can see, these look dirtier, but there's no leaks. They're not leaking or anything. They're working really well. And these are KYB, really good shocks. So I'm gonna hook it up for this car, put on some really good shocks, and these will be matching what will be going in the front as well, which are also KYB XLG. And these are gonna go in this car because I wanna fix it up as nice as possible so I can sell to someone that is really gonna get a good long-term use out of the car. These gloves keep ripping. Everything's back on. I'm gonna torque down that suspension, the bottom shock bolt. There really isn't a lot to it. There's literally 1-2 bolts holding the whole suspension system in place. Also, like, don't be heroes. Wear your gloves, because on any car, the brake dust, the oils, all the fluids, they all have a ton of carcinogens in them. And if that stuff gets into your skin, one, you're increasing your own chances of cancer, which are already high, even without working on cars. But you're also increasing the chances that anything and anyone you touch, so if you're diddling your girlfriend, you're increasing their chances too of giving them some gnarly cancer. So just wear gloves. When I mark things off, I try to, it's hard because I've done it before, you can see, but we get a little dot here and we just kind of do that. That way we can see if that moves in the next few like miles. We can drive like, 10, 20 miles, and then if anything changes, we know that they are loose. I highly doubt that these will come off. They are torqued down pretty good. Again, here you see the dot, and that way we'll know if these move away from each other, there's something wrong. I'm not torquing it down with the impact gun, because if you do that, you could really over tighten the studs, and then you're gonna break studs that way. So I just give it a light little tap. That's it. When I tighten them down initially, and then once it's on the ground, I torque them down with the torque wrench to the right torque specifications, which for this, I believe it's 89 foot-pounds, but I will double check before I torque anything down. What sucks about the front suspension is that it's right under here. Let's see. So you can see the top of the strut right there. So I have to remove the whole cowl covering on that car in order to get to it. So fun times. these lug nuts are ugly. I'm just putting them on because these studs are a little bit too long for the OEM lug nuts, and I just have these lying around, so if I put the OEM lug nuts on here, the long studs are going to push the caps off and it's going to look real ugly. So I'm just going to put these on because these just are extra long and go all the way through, so it'll be fine. See how much of a gap there is between the wheel and the wheel well here. That's gonna go away completely because, as you noticed, I put in coilovers on the back, and once I'm finished up with the front and I got wheels on there and I'll let this roll back, it's gonna sink back down. How much time do I have? Okay, so that's pretty much all we have time for today. We got the rear suspension swapped over from the other car onto this car, and then we got stock suspension back on the daily driver, and obviously now we need to do the front end as well. And then I gotta do the exhaust on that guy in there behind that tree. So just swapped over rear ends here. That's it. Hopefully tomorrow I'll have a little bit more progress than this, but this is where we're at for now.